There we are. Yeah, so welcome to Divine Living. This is a personal growth and wellness show. So today we're talking about the Kwanzaa principle of Nia, but we're not going to just be digging into Nia today. It's going to be all about purpose. Um, it's going to be all about purpose. What my purpose is, what your purpose is, what my guests, their purpose is. So I did have a guest earlier who wasn't able to make it. So send up positive vibes and energy to Chrissy the Peel. Was really looking forward to her being on the show, but she's under the weather. She's under the weather. So send positive, yes, send positive vibes. Send positive vibes to Chrissy. And just that she'll be she feel better too. So let's talk about some of the things we'll be jumping into today. Some of those things, um, well, actually, the title of today is Unlocking Potential. My guest today, that I'll be having, my special guest, has downloaded the app just for this show. Just for this show. And I'm excited about that because last week I had a guest that downloaded this app just for this show, just for this show. And I'm excited that he is here today. Um, yeah, I'm excited that he's here today because he has a special story that he will be sharing with us um, this morning. Thank you, thank you. A special story that he'll be sharing with us about purpose, about that NIA principle, purpose. Um, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. So, again, this is Divine Living, a personal growth and wellness show where we talk about being well. Um, if you are new to this show, I started this show with the 8 dimensions of wellness. And I'm going to kind of run those back to you all. If you have never heard of the 8 dimensions of wellness, I didn't create it myself. It's already a concept that was created, and I just adapted it and adopted some of the the things with this with the 8 dimensions of wellness to help me and help me on this journey of being well. So let's talk about those 8 dimensions of wellness. They are emotional, physical, occupational, social, spiritual, intellectual, environmental, and financial. So each show will touch bases on some of those principles and how they align with things in our life. Um, and I'm happy to say that I've covered every single one of those principles in Divine Living. Today, we'll kind of touch on a little bit of all of that. What those 8 dimensions mean to you. It's all about you because my wellness cannot be your wellness. Your wellness is only designed for you. It's only designed for you. So when we're working and processing through the 8 dimensions of wellness, we can use all of those concepts to help us be on our journey, our pursuit of wellness. So let's talk about what the principle of Nia and triumphing over adversities can be applied to our personal growth and wellness. Because I personally believe that our journey to wellness takes overcoming adversities. Would you guys agree? I agree. Because we can find our purpose um, only by overcoming other challenges. That's what the NIA principle begins with. But also, this principle helps us. design, how we interact that with society and our community. So I'm going to go ahead and bring our guest up for today, um, and let him kind of introduce himself to us. And um, yeah, we're going to jump into this topic. Good morning. Good
Hey,
morning, Bob.
good morning. How you doing this morning?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you at all.
Can you hear me now?
Nope.
Can you hear me?
Let's see. Hold on just a second. Mm, let me make sure I'm up. There we go. There we go. I'm good now. We're up.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear
All
you.
right.
I can hear you just fine. Good morning. How are you this morning?
All right. Doing very well.
Good,
Very,
good,
very
good,
well.
good,
How you
good.
doing this morning?
I'm happy that you were able to join us today and just share your story with us about purpose and what purpose means in your life. Um, and let's just jump into I'm going to bring up my co-host this morning too, who's going to help me with the show. If you will request the box, please, sir. And we're just going to jump into the topic a little bit, um, on what purpose is, and how how um, how this Mia principle aligns with your life right now. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Okay. So when we talk about the word purpose, is there anything that jumps out in your mind on what purpose really means? I can't see today, y'all. Buck Moon.
Um, Purpose to me is change, life
Hmm.
changing from the things you did when you was younger to make yourself better.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, just make things better from where I come from. I think my purpose, I did a whole lot better for myself, and I just think purpose just reaching out to try to be your best that you could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. I like that. So, today's show is about unlocking potential. Nia's purpose triumphs through or over adversity. And your story is a reintegration story, and how the the criminal justice system and the things that you have gone through. Can you give us a little background on what um, what your just a background story of what you've gone through as far as reintegration?
All right. Well, I went to
Mhm.
the federal prison back in 2005. I got indicted in 2004. I did 14 and a half years. I got out 2019 of February. And basically, when I get off the system is I had to rehabilitate myself. The system don't rehabilitate you. You got to do it yourself. As in, what I'm saying about that is the job they give you don't work out here. I went and got my apprenticeship in the quality insurance. Stuff didn't work. Um, Actually, prison taught me how to do crimes. So I
Mm.
picked up another activity that I could do on the streets, then getting rehabilitated. But I choose not to go that route. I choose to rehabilitate myself and come home. But like I said, I learned a lot of criminal activities. So basically, when I went in as a drug dealer, I came out knowing how to do white collar crimes, different
Yeah.
other crimes.
Okay, so let's step back just a little bit.
Okay.
You How much? What was your time? How much time did you do?
Actually, I did 14 and a half. I was sentenced to 20 years. My outdate is actually 2026.
Hmm.
But due to Trump passing the bill in December 19th, I got released immediately. So if I would be not under that law, I'd still be in prison till 2026.
Okay. Some of the things that you were talking about was being incarcerated and how it didn't really teach you reintegration. What did that look like for you during that time?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you
Yeah.
that time.
So
Can you repeat that?
when you were in prison, you said that it
Mhm.
didn't teach you how to be reintegrated. Um,
Right.
a lot of times, the stories that I've heard is how this process really takes you away from what society looks like, what your family looks like, what even being and working looks like in your life. Um, were there any times in while you were incarcerated that you had connections with outside to even talk about what it would look like once you were released?
Um. m- Well, lucky enough, I had my brothers. They was talking to me about how the streets is again. Um. But besides that, when you in prison, well, I'm gonna say me. I blocked myself from the streets because I didn't want to get to thinking about the streets. I'm in prison right now, so I want to live here. This is what I want to think about.
Mhm,
I don't want to think about what my brothers, sisters, family, friends, all them doing. So I kept my mind
mhm,
in the federal prison at the time, and uh, and like I said, a bunch of us that went to the federal prison is have low education or mental illness. So I knew
mhm.
before I could get back out on the streets that I got to turn my education up better before I could find a better job. Because that's the main thing I started selling drugs for because of my education.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome, everybody. This is Divine Living, a personal growth and wellness show. Today, we are talking about unlocking potential. I have my special guest today, Buck Moe, who has spent some time incarcerated and was released, and now is walking and living in his purpose or what he has found his purpose. My co host is here. Thank you, Man of Steel, for jumping in today and kind of helping me out. I had
Who,
a
me?
guest that felt ill this morning, and I'm glad that you just came by to help me. Thank you, Man of Steel. Thank you, Man of Steel. You want to say hello, good morning to the people today, Man of Steel?
Nah, nah, sis.
No?
Nah, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, everybody, you know, the new year's about to end. It's the last weekend of the year. Hopefully, everybody will, start looking at whatever they feel their purpose is in life. Whether they have a bucket list, whether it's dreams and visions that they have, that they haven't did steps to make it come into fruition. Hopefully people will start that next year. Whether it's fitness, diet, education, books you've read, water you drink every day, whatever it is. Baby steps are still steps. So as long
Mhm,
as you're taking steps forward, it really doesn't make a difference. As long as you're doing something, because we all on borrowed time. And whether we know it or not, it could be in low digits. So you might want to, put a little pep in your step. Y'all know that's one of my biggest things, work-life balance. I have none really. All I do is take care of business. And I had to start realizing that the time I'm taking away from my loved ones to make sure their future, is going well and they won't have any financial problems out of those day-to-day things has been taking a hit. So trying to find that balance is pretty hard. But hopefully we start looking at things in a more balanced way and we can, start things and put it into motion.
Awesome. Let's talk about that balance. Let's talk about that balance. So, I always say that this show is a personal growth and wellness show where we talk about being well. Um, and that starts with the 8 dimensions of wellness. That helps us find that balance that we need in life, those 8 dimensions of wellness. I'm going to run it back to you all again. If you're new to the show, on what the 8 dimensions of wellness are. So, the 8 dimensions of wellness are emotional, physical, occupational, social, spiritual, intellectual, environmental, and financial. We have our special guest here, Buck Mo, who has we're this show is guided through um, unlocking potential. So, what his process has been after incarceration. Buck Mo, can you share with us what the emotional triumph and trauma or trials that you may have received or had found through being incarcerated and now being reintegrated into society.
Yes. All right. There was being incarcerated. We hear about all these good things that will happen for us when we get on out. That will help us out. And when I come home, all this good stuff that they said help us out wasn't there. I tried to get on food stamps. I've been down 15 years, 14 and a half, 15 years. So I didn't have nothing. So I went to the place to try to get food stamp. They said because I was I went to jail for possession with intent to deliver. It's a conspiracy charge
Hmm.
that I don't qualify. So I'm trying to figure out why I don't qualify. So basically, you trying to tell me I can't eat? I mean, so then couldn't get no clothes. Lucky enough, I had family that helped me out. Uh, there's a group trying to give me some clothes, but you know what I'm saying? The clothes that they were trying to give me was some clothes from the 1980s, 1990, butterfly collars. I mean, come on now. I mean, I don't say that they didn't try because, hey, I'm still happy that they at least tried. But I see why people that get out still go back to doing crime because we don't have no help. I mean, they tell us in the federal prison, and it could be state too, but I know the federal prison, I did the federal time. I know that they tell us how much stuff we got out here for help, and we don't have it. So I ended up getting on out of here. I just knew that if I could get paid 12 cents an hour in federal prison, I could get out here and get paid $8, $9 an hour and be happy. And actually, when my first job I got was $11 an hour, and I was so happy because I went
Hmm.
from 22 cents an hour, I mean 12 cents an hour to $11 an hour. So I mean, oh my God, I was just happy. Then I ended up finding
Yeah.
something better that went higher, $15, 13, then 15, then higher. Saying where I'm at now, and it just I realized that without my family, I would be right back in prison because, like I said, I didn't have nothing. Doing 14 and a half years, I didn't have nothing. But now I'm working for the transit center. I'm a bus operator, and my life got way better. I mean, I'm doing very good. I'm not on the streets. And I've just changed a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? And I try to tell people that you
Yeah.
don't have to get out and sell drugs and get back into crime if if you work yourself hard enough to do it. But like I said, if you don't have a family, it will be very, very, very hard for you to come up, be
Right.
successful at what you do.
That's where that social connection comes back to having a support system. Um, and I also heard when you said that a lot of people that are incarcerated are either have low education or have mental illness. Um, thank you. Have mental illness when striving for I've worked with in case management for a long time, and a lot of times the people that I would say about 95% of the people that I worked with um in that were homeless due to mental illness or very low educated. And low education sometimes has to do with disabilities. The some type of disability that you may have, that keeps you from being able to learn or understand, comprehend different rules and regulations. It just goes past them. Can you talk to us about how overcoming this process has been for you? I know that you said that your support system in your family. Um, Slow down just a little bit and talk to us about what those daily steps look like for you once you were released, and what that looked like day to day. I know you said you it was hard for you to get any type of assistance, that you didn't qualify. So
Right.
um um what did those challenges present for you at that moment?
Um, First, I stepped back a little bit. I had to start off with my get my education because I had terrible education. I mean, it was so embarrassing that that's what made me actually get into the drug game because my education was very bad and I didn't know basically how to read really, how to do math really. And I knew before I get out, I need to learn that just to be successful at the street life. Come back out here. So I ended up getting with a friend, and he ended up basically starting me back over from kindergarten school all the way to high school and college. And now my education is good now. But when I
Hmm.
got out, the challenges was, I mean, there was a couple of times, and I ain't gonna say it's just great out here, but there were a couple of times when I first got out, I was thinking about, man, I might need to get back in the game. You know, I can't,
Hmm.
you know, saying I ain't having no money. I was hate to keep on asking my brothers for money. You know, I'm a grown man, so that's how I look at it. Like, man, bro, I'm sorry to tell you, man, I need to borrow a little money, bro. You know what I'm saying? When I want to take a female out, I gotta ask them. So you know what I'm saying? There were times came very close to getting back on the streets to make me some money, but I told myself that I'm not gonna do that. So it was very hard um, as get myself together until I got my first $11 an hour job. Then when I got that, that's when I thought I was rich again. You know, I got the $11 an hour job compared to that 12 cents an hour, and I just thought I could go spend everything. And then by the end of the week, I'm broke. You know, but the challenge was I enjoyed it because I was doing it the legit way. And like I said, now I mean, you know what I'm saying. Besides learning, no, I mean, in jail, you know what I'm saying, you healthy, very healthy, see real good now. Being on the streets, you realize bills coming. I'm feeling older now, you know, I'm feeling old. I'm like, man, I ain't used to this. I'm used to working out now. I'm getting fat and you know what I'm saying? I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I just enjoy living the freedom life now. But
Hmm.
what comes with the life is I'm learning about it. Because like I said, when I first got out, the world looked too big. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Being in prison is like a
Right.
city inside of a city. And getting out here,
And
uh
I know that's where I want to go to. You were sharing with me before on just what the world looked like, um, once you were reintegrated. Let me just let everybody know where you are. This is Divine Living, a personal growth and wellness show. Today we are talking about unlocking potential. I have our special guest Buck Mo here, who has downloaded the app, y'all, just to be on this show. So I want to say thank you and welcome to Divine Living, and just thank you for being here. Um, you were sharing with me the other day when I was just trying to get a little background on you and your story, on what the world even looked like being reintegrated. And why I want to even touch on that point is, you guys, because sometimes in finding our purpose, finding what our true purpose is, there comes adversity. But Buckmo shared with us, you were incarcerated 14 years, 14 years.
14
So
and a
a
half,
lot of things had
close to
changed.
15.
A lot of change that had changed. You talked about the presidents. Go ahead and give the viewers a little background story on what it looked like prior to and then being released.
All right. Like I was telling you, I went through three presidents while I was in federal prison. I was in there for the end of President Bush. I was in there for all of Obama, and I ended off with Trump. And I
Hmm.
started off with Biden. So, I'm Biden was my first president I was finally on the streets with. Um,
Well,
what else I could
what
say?
it looked like even being out for you? What did that look like?
Oh, the
You were
world.
telling
I
me
mean,
about going shopping and the different things that you saw,
oh
and
yeah. First, the world is so big to me where when you first get up, you hear everything. I mean, you can hear a pin drop, and you're like, "What? What's that? What's that?" We hear everything because it's just so big. So when I first got out, immediate release, I goes to Walmart. I said, I'm gonna go grab me a cell phone. And I never had cell phone. Some they were saying smartphone, so I'm thinking a smartphone, and they're gonna do some smart stuff for me. And you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying. I didn't even know how to get on the thing. I'm trying to figure out how the heck do you dial the number? I mean, how? I mean, because it's everything new to me. So when I get
hmm
to Walmart, I go to the electronics, and I see a big old TV, and the screensaver had fish. So me thinking it's a fish tank. And I asked the man, I said, why y'all got fish tank in the
hmm
electronics? And he looked at me like, no, this ain't a fish tank. This it's a TV. I, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was down long. Saying when I was out, we had big floors TVs. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have no
hmm
screen, wall, the screen TV. So it just shocked me just learning new things. Like I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out this Facebook now. So my brother laugh at me because they say I'm always on the phone, which I am because it's just still I'm still amazed about how the phones is. I'm used to grabbing a phone from the house. You know what I'm saying? These phones I'm carrying around. It just feels so good. So I'm staying on the phone 24 hours a day. I mean, I'm pretty sure a couple of friends that see me will say the same thing. Like he's always on the phone because I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Still learning a bunch of the apps. So I'm still learning. So I'm still learning that LOL and all that stuff. So I should tell my nephews that when they be putting them, hey, y'all gotta tell me what that means. I don't know what that means. YWD or whatever, whatever it is. So I'm gonna be telling my
WYD.
brothers and them, y'all got to talk to me about it. I don't know what this means, but
No,
it's
don't worry
fun to
about it.
learn,
I
and,
don't know
and, and
some
I
of
have
them
fun
either.
learning.
I don't know
Huh?
some of them either, dog. I
Oh,
be like, it's just
okay,
4 letters, man. Just say the 4 words, man. But I mean,
right,
I don't be knowing some of it either. I just be like, all right, man. Like, I have no clue. You know what I mean?
okay.
But I
And
will
I'm
say
and
this,
I'm still learning this tech
you're
stuff.
a champion. You're a champion. And this is why you're a champion. See,
Yeah,
because losers keep fighting if they don't lose.
right,
A
hmm
loser will keep fighting. If he never loses, he'll keep fighting. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
hmm
Most of the time, the mark of a champion is when he do lose. What does he do after that? You
True.
know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
distance traveled is always more important than destination. Like if you're talking about going from 20 cents an hour to going to $15 an hour, that distance traveled is a further distance than somebody having a townhome to going to a single family home.
hmm
Right.
So it's always about distance travel. You know what I'm saying? So you have to consider yourself a champion because even being in federal prison, it's not that far from the military. I was in the military. It was just
Okay.
better benefits, better pay, and more yard time. That's the only difference. Because a
Okay.
lot of people can't function when they get out the military because everything is designed for you. Your day is planned out for you. What you're supposed to wear, what time you got to be there, what you're gonna do when you get there. Everything is planned out. You get 3 meals a day. It's the same time
Right.
every day. It's a lot of the same structure. So I know a lot of guys that went in at 18, they feared going out because they didn't know what to do. Nobody was to tell them what to do. Now you got to go get your insurance. Now you got to make sure your bills is paid. Even if you get penalized in the military, you get an Article 15, you get written up. And sometimes they'll take half your pay and you'll have to do extra duty. They don't put you in debt. They pay your bills for you out your pay and give you what's left. Everything is done for you. So it's not that far off. It's just better pay, better benefits. But it's the same
Right.
type of
Right.
structure. But just like the military, if you do an exact parallel to probably even state prison, not even just federal prison, it's probably protocol and things amongst guys that's serving time that you probably can utilize out here. Who to talk to, how to identify something when you see these guys talking. You know what not to do here. You know what not to do there. How you need to communicate. How you demand respect. How to be able to be in a group of people and notice somebody X, Y, and Z. So it's probably
Right.
certain things you went through there that you can still utilize out here because it's just like guys that push product. If they start a business, they're just pushing a different product. It's the same philosophy.
Right.
So what's
Hey,
the
hey,
type of
hey.
things in there that you can actually use out here that people may not even understand? Even though the goal wouldn't be to go to prison, but it could be things you can learn there that can help you out
Right. And being in prison, it did. I mean, it this might sound funny, and everybody might want to know why I would say that, but I I feel that prison was that was the best place for me to go at the time.
here.
Cause I had friends that got executed, got killed. I had a friend got, you know what I'm saying, got killed over drugs, got robbed. And the federal prison taught me again to educate myself, how to have respect. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it taught me how to cherish, you know what I'm saying, how to treat a woman now, how to have respect or you know what I'm saying, because there are a lot of people who bump into you and just look at you and keep moving.
Right,
A lot
right,
of them don't talk. I'm used to say, "Hey, how you doing?" Oh, excuse me. You know, say because in prison you bump into someone. I mean, you could get yourself killed. You know, what I'm saying I was not, when I started out where lifers was there. You know, what I'm saying a lot of lifers, and you know, what I'm saying I'm doing a 20-year bit. These dudes doing life in federal prison. I mean, I had a guy stab someone up because he was snoring in his room. He was
yeah,
sleeping, snoring, and he like, "Hey man, stop snoring." I'm telling, and you cannot stop snoring when you sleep. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if you're snoring, but he
right,
got stabbed up for that.
mhm,
So I learned how to be I learned how to be more calm. I mean, I know how to, you know what I'm saying, walk away from a fight. Not saying I'm scared of you,
right,
but just because I learned a lot of things that I know how to walk away. I know how to respect different people. I mean, I'm very polite now. But before I
mhm,
was out there, I was like, man, you know, what I'm saying this is me. This is how we're gonna do it. This is exactly how things gonna happen. So, like I
mhm,
said,
Mhm.
I learned education. So that's my whole thing. When I went, I came out better. I came out better than when I went in there. My health was terrible, and then when I got out, you know, what I'm saying, I worked out for 14 and a half years. I feel good. Came out nice size, nice shape, healthy.
right,
To this day, I don't drink or smoke. I mean, back when before I went to prison, I was smoking marijuana. Now I don't do none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel that the federal prison, going to prison, helped me out, but I didn't have to do that much time to learn my lesson. You know, I could have did 2 years
right,
and I'd have been good with it,
yeah,
or a year. Because my first time ever going to prison, they gave me 20. I ain't never did jail time.
Mhm.
The
mhm,
first time I went, it was a nonviolent charge, and they gave me 20 years for going to trial because I went to trial. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? And
Wow.
yeah, 20 years. And there are a lot of people minds. You know, I done seen a lot of people minds messed up when they got out on medicines. And I
yeah,
knew to keep my mind strong, I had to continue educating myself. I had to continue doing things that will keep my mind fresh.
mhm,
Read newspapers, doing different things to keep my mind. There's times, you know, what I'm saying, that you still catch yourself doing prison stuff. You know what I'm saying, but
yeah, yeah,
you try to get yourself out of it. And now I'm going on 5 years. February not February 6th of next year coming up. I'll be at 5 years out. So yeah, I
okay,
feel that I did a
congratulations,
lot
man.
better.
Congratulations. That's a good thing because in these types of environments, you got to try to survive without losing your humanity. Because there's certain things that you're going to have to do to survive that you wouldn't normally do. But you get to a point where it's like it's about survival. Do you want to see the next day, or do you want to be able to sleep at night? Sometimes you got to deal with the demons later. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to just survive. And it's a tough situation to be in for any human because the strongest muscle is our brain. So a lot of times when you have certain business, like even me going to combat and going to war, there's certain things I don't like to this day, and I've been out for like 20 years. So it's it 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 deals with your mental, and it makes you strong mentally or breaks you mentally. You know what I mean?
Right.
Your body will be able to take care of it. That's going to take care of itself. You're going to exercise, you're going to work out, you're going to do PT, et cetera, et cetera. But it's the mental part, not knowing if this is going to be your last day or your last month, not knowing if this is going to be your last meal, not knowing if you're going to wake up the next day and it's not like you waking up to paradise. You know what I mean? So you almost subconsciously don't even look forward to waking up because you know what you're going to see when you open your eyes. And then you're back to reality. You know what I'm saying? The only way you get out of there before you actually make parole or get released is when you go to sleep. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's I know it's a terrible feeling, but a lot of times I tell guys all the time from any walk of life, whether you grow up in a rough neighborhood, whether you served in combat, whatever it is, that use those, experiences as a turn back moment. So when they go to the next phase in life and be like, if I can handle that, can't nothing over here break me. I went through that. I survived that. I did that. This can't break me because this don't compare to that. That's what I do. Every time I think about something in business, this, that, or whatever, I look and say, I did 13 months in combat. Can't nothing like this break me if I was able to do that. This is
Right.
nothing like trying
Yeah.
to do your job and half a country trying to kill you. So if I
Right.
can survive that and do that and come out mentally and not be crazy, ain't nothing out here gonna be able to affect me whatsoever, period. So I always use
I'm,
those as a turn back moment.
I'm gonna tell you the most dangerous thing, and I'll tell my brother, a couple of friends. The federal prison teach you how not to be scared, and that's a very dangerous thing when a person not ain't scared to go to prison. It's
Mhm.
easier for them to kill, and they go and the first thing they say, "Oh, I'm going back to prison anyway." That's the only thing the federal system, it could be state to taught me how not to be scared. To
Mhm.
to to go. I just choose to live a better life,
Right.
but it really do teaches a person how not to be scared to go back.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And to me,
Yeah.
that's the most dangerous person in the world is a person that's not scared to go back because he ain't scared to kill. He ain't scared to do whatever he
Yeah.
got to do to do what he want to do.
Right.
And that's the only thing. Like I said, they need more programs because the program that they got in there ain't no programs. And like I said, it don't work. Some might work. I can't say some of them don't, but a bunch of them programs is some bull crap.
Mm.
Yeah.
And only thing we doing playing cards, hanging out with friends, laughing, talking stuff, learning the system. So then, like I
Mhm.
said, then when we get out, if you talk crazy, I'm ready to do something. Cause hey, I'm not scared to go back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Make it like it's a cookout with severe punishments if you do anything wrong.
right,
Good
and the
morning, y'all.
system
This
makes it
is
seem like
Divine Living. This is Divine Living, a personal growth and wellness show where we talk about being well. Today, we are talking about the NIA principle of purpose, the Kwanzaa principle NIA, meaning purpose. I have Buck Mo in the box and my co-host Nana Steele. We're talking about unlocking potential purpose after incarceration. Um, uh, and I wanted to ask you, Buck Mo, I wanted to ask if we can break some of the stereotypes of what in incarceration looks like with people. What would you say as far as breaking those stereotypes? What are the stereotypes and how we can kind of just dispel those things?
um, I hear a lot of people talking about um, if I'm getting it right, I hear a lot of people talk about like don't drop the soap, stuff like that.
Mhm.
How make it like this. Anybody that getting messed around, getting done to is because they want to. The system just ain't just when you drop the soap. First of all, we ain't in the same shower with. each other. First of all, you got sections of showers. First of all, um, uh, we eat real good there. I mean, it's crazy because I mean, if I say a lot of the stuff, it seems like I'm glorifying prison.
But
You know
but
what I'm saying?
even like when you come out, yes, those are the things that we think about. But a lot of times people that are released from prison, we have this automatic mindset of they are bad people. Um how would you say those stereotypes to break those stereotypes? Because I don't even know you, but I know you're not a bad person. But
Right,
somebody else, by saying, "Oh yeah, I did this much time," will automatically think that, yeah,
right. Well, I'm
he's
gonna
a
tell you,
felon. I don't
in
want
prison, ninety
anything to do
percent
with
of
that.
us in in the federal system, I'm gonna say 80% of us nonviolent offenders. Majority of us don't shouldn't be in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just because you did that time, trust me. I mean, I still got friends from being in prison, and they out here doing real good, not selling drugs. So, like I said, I mean, a lot of the guys that's in jail is nonviolent. The ones that killed, yeah, I mean, they need to be in jail. But like me, a few other guys, you know what I'm saying, the people I knew, I hung around with, they all nonviolent. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing a person think is they getting out of jail, they dangerous. And now I'm gonna tell you this though, they it do make I mean us nonviolent offenders that go in there, we do come back out with a sometime with a violent mind
Yeah.
Hmm.
because the prison taught us that way. So I went in there, wouldn't carry a gun or do nothing. I came out and I don't mind carrying a gun. But besides that, 90% of the people that's incarcerated is nonviolent offenders. I mean, you just saying. I mean, they locking a lot of nonviolent offenders up, and
Yeah,
they locking us up and making a lot of them come back violent. You know, so
yeah,
it's really hard to really answer that question. To me, if he come out here to do right with himself, as in find jobs, working, you know, what I'm saying them the ones we want out. But if you out here coming back out here doing where you back out here selling drugs or like I said, you learn new crimes. I mean, you doing different things. I mean, it's really hard to answer that question. But only thing I can tell you is 90% of us that's in the federal system is nonviolent offenders. I mean, they
yeah,
doing all this time because you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know a guy right now, I mean, the drug ratio is so bad. For instance, when I went to jail, 50 grams of crack cocaine got me a 20 to life.
Right.
The white man over here he needed 5,000 grams of cocaine to even get a 10 to life. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So
yeah,
the system is so messed up where a bunch of us going to jail. I got a friend, 50 grams he got caught with, they gave him life in a federal prison. And he's a
yeah.
nonviolent offender,
But
never
boom,
touched a gun.
before we get out of here, because we're down to the bottom of the hour, what would you like to leave our audience with as far as what you're finding purpose after incarceration, what that looks like for you now? I know you've shared with us, yeah, your connections with your family, and now having a job that pays tremendously more than what you could ever make incarcerated. What would you say that your purpose is and what you want to leave as a stamp before you leave our show today?
I want to continue getting the system out. I continue want to tell my story. So to help people know what, saying how the system is, I really want to bring the system out. Just continue, saying getting interviews, telling my story, um, allowing people that's out jail that just getting on out to let them know that if I could do it, saying y'all could do it. We don't need to go back doing crimes just to make it. You know what I'm saying? We will have uh, uh, hard time issues. Like I said, there were times I wanted to get back into the game, but my mind told me I couldn't do it. So I just want people to know that, if I could do it, with very low educated, with very low education that I know that they could do it. Only thing we got to do is just set our mind to what we're gonna do. Whatever you said you're gonna do in prison, set your mind. My mind was I'm gonna get out. I'm not never going back to jail. Uh, and work hard, and that's what I was doing. I mean, I would work very hard in federal prison, so I knew I could do the same thing out here. So my main thing is I just want to continue talking, and telling people about my experience, and hopefully could do a lot more better for other people that's out here, and look at me as if Buckmo could do it, I could do it. So just continue talking.
Awesome.
That's what's up, man.
Awesome.
I congratulate you. You know, and I would tell you to remember that it doesn't matter if you cross the finish line with a pass or with a limp, as long as you cross it. Because to make a commitment is um to build hope. But if you keep it, you'll build trust. So just keep doing whatever you're trying to do to make your life better. And remember that the distance traveled is the most important thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you again, Buckmo, for joining us on Divine Living. I'm going to drop you down. I greatly appreciate you sharing your story with us, and hopefully it gives a little inspiration on what the pursuit of purpose looks like. Thank you
All
again.
right. Yep.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you. All right.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. This has been an awesome show. I'm gonna still
Yep.
let's talk about purpose for just a minute.
Okay.
Let's talk about purpose for just a minute because um, Buckmo shared with us what true adversity may look like. I mean, 14 years is a long time to be out of society, and sometimes we feel like our purpose is depending on other people.
True.
Um, what would you say as far as pursuing your purpose um, and just keeping that in the forefront of your mind?
Well, I think anybody can be what they want to be if they can let go of who they always been. Some people can never get to who they want to be because they can't let go of who they were or who they are at that moment.
Mhm.
And a lot of times I tell people, listen, who you used to be and who you are now, you got to be okay with both of those people in order to become who you want to be. Because
Mhm.
you're not supposed to be the same at 40 that you was at 22. It's supposed to
Mhm.
be a change. So you can't look back at that and then be so ashamed of it that you try not to acknowledge it or don't understand that that's who you were at one point in time too. You know what I mean? Because there's nobody that go through this world unscathed. You know what I mean? And if they do, I would question whether they actually believe in a high power or they have anybody behind them. Because a lot of times the
Mhm.
devil will leave you alone so you won't turn to God. So he'll let you do your thing. So that's how I look at those things. Anybody could be anything that they work hard. You just got to believe that something different can happen. You can't look at other people that has become six-figure owners or millionaires and say that they're special and it can't happen for you. That's not true. If you've seen it
Mhm.
happen before, then it's possible. If you say I want to be a billionaire, who tell you you can't when you know there's such thing as billionaires? If you say you want to have make $500,000 a year, who says you can't when you know there's people that already do? Nobody can tell you you can't do something that you have evidence of. So
Mhm.
if you look at, working hard, you can be whatever you want to be. We're in the information world now. You can go on YouTube, learn how to build a car from scratch. You got access to the information. You just got to be
Yeah.
willing to put the work in. See, most people keep falling in love with the idea of the dream rather than what it's going to take to actually fulfill the dream. You got to be
Mhm.
in love with the journey to get there, not just the idea, not just the finished product. You see your house, you see your car, you see your bank account, and you're in love with that. And that's why you heard me say on other shows and on your show before, that's why whoever you pray to, if it's God, whoever you pray to, that's your thing. But whoever you believe in and never tell you what you're going to go through your journey. Because if you knew you was going to lose a
Mhm.
loved one, if you knew it was going to be homeless for a month, if they knew you was going to get
Yeah.
sick for 6 months, to get to your ultimate dream, you'll pick something else. So they're never going to let you know what is going to be on your path because God don't send your mail to the wrong address. Your mail is your mail.
Mm.
This is some
Yeah.
people, they just keep moving off their square because they be like, this dream look like it's going to take too much to get there. Because too many people are cowards these days. They want to play only home games. That's it. They don't want to go on the road. They don't want to suit up. They don't want to do the travel. They rather sit in the locker room and hope that the team win so they can get the ring without putting none of the work in. They want to be at home when everybody cheer you just getting on the court. That's not how the real world works. You got to be
Mhm.
able to play games on the road and still win there too. Because when you went through adversity, that's what makes you a champion. That's what builds the
Mm.
callus for whatever the world's going to bring your way.
Right.
You have to be able to fight on not just your home turf, but quote unquote the enemy's turf. You got to do it
Mhm.
when it's uncomfortable. And we're running low on time, so I want you to get your final thoughts. So I'm just going to tell all you
Okay.
guys just like this. This is always my process, business, friendship, whatever else. People heard me say this a million times. For one, the triangle, focus, consistency, and discipline. But your four steps is to identify what do you want to do, what type of family you want, what type of business you want, type of life you want, whatever it is. You have to identify it. Second, you have to do your research to see what it's going to take to become successful based on the thing you chose. So if it's to be a doctor, if it's to be a business owner, what is it going to take for you to be successful doing that thing? And then number three, you need to put a star behind. Are you willing to do everything that it takes to make that dream come true? Period. Not that day because you feel good that day. When you don't feel good, when you don't feel like you want to do it, are you willing to do it? And the answer is yes. When I have a headache, when I'm sick, when I'm tired, when I only get an hour's sleep, am I still willing to do it even then? If that's the case, then you implement step four, which is start to put it into motion. So you need to identify it. You need to look at what it's going to take to make it successful. You need to make a sound decision on whether you're willing to do everything you researched on step two. And that's on good days and bad days. And if the answer is honestly yes, then on step four, you start implementing that to make your dream a reality. Because I'll say this and then I'm gonna hop out so you can give your final thoughts. Your dreams is not what you have when you go to sleep. Your dreams is preventing you from going to sleep.
Mm.
So if you able to sleep soundly, you may not have a dream because your dreams keep you from sleeping. So with that being said, like I told you, Devon, I'm always here for you. Last minute, whatever the case, I'll make sure the
Thank
show go
you.
on. You won't be by yourself.
Thank
So I'm
you.
glad I was able to jump in and help you out. I'm gonna jump out the
One
box
more
so you can
time.
give your final thought. Huh?
One more thing. One more thing before you go. Let everybody know
Huh?
about this challenge we got going on. That.
Oh, the fitness challenge nobody did, so I'm not gonna redo the fitness challenge. Okay. So so this was my challenge to everybody. My challenge was it's gonna be 2024 in 2 days. Everybody writes 224 things that they want to accomplish for the upcoming year. If you want to save $5,000, then 10,000, then 20,000, whatever it is, fitness goals, places you want to travel, foods you want to try, languages you want to learn. I don't care what it is, 224 things. And then at the end of next year, you start marking off how many things you got accomplished. You'll be amazed. You probably accomplished 35% of whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you, 224 things of what you want to accomplish. Don't matter how big or how small. I don't care if you want to grow your hair 1 inch. It doesn't matter what it is. 224 things, and then at the end of the year, start marking off everything you accomplished. Start feeling that sense of accomplishment to keep you going. But I appreciate you guys. We're at the hour, so I'm gonna jump out the box so you can get your thing on.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Man of Steel. Thank you, Man of Steel. Thank you, Buck Mo. Thank you. Man, you just don't know how much I appreciate you for coming in today. I appreciate you all for just tuning in and hanging out with us today. We we're pressing that purpose, y'all. Pressing on purpose. My word for 2023 was intentional. I want to make sure that I'm intentional about the things that I do and the things that I present to you. I present them to you intentionally. Um, this is the last Saturday of the year, right? So I hope that even if 2023 was not lived intentional for you, take the time and do that for 2024. I know that I've made great strides, great strides. My purpose in doing this show is not just for you, but it's for me too. Um, and that's where I'm pressing for. So I'm going to leave you with my words or our words as always. Live on purpose, y'all. Live on purpose, be intentional, and know that without words, the speech cannot be heard. Without a voice, there's nothing to be said. Without sounds, it's only left to be seen. And without them all, we're just beings without being a thing. Use your voice to be the light of change. This has been another episode of Divine Living. Y'all check me out next Saturday and the month of January, where we're talking about beginnings. Thank you again. I want to hang out for a while.